certified broadcast meteorologist by the American Meteorological Society.
All right, it's going to be kind of a nice night out there, a little on the cool side. Temperatures dropping into the middle 50s by daybreak, but only some scattered clouds. Other than that, fairly light winds. And here's a look at why. High pressure building into the area is bringing in steadily drier air, although you are seeing some high clouds filtering in from the west. Has no impact on our real weather pattern. And when we look at our temperatures, you can see we're looking at lower to middle 60s in the center part of the crossroads, a little warmer to the west and along the immediate coastline where that front has been struggling to get through the coastal bend. You can see much warmer along the immediate coastline, and that's where it's much more humid as well. 87% humidity at Rockport, 81 at Seadrift, 87 at Palacios. That front just hanging right along there, and that's why you're seeing that kind of differential there. Now, that's also why you're going to see that potential for fog in the coastal bend during the overnight hours, but not here. 81 degrees, that was your high today, morning low of 56. And although there were a couple little sprinkles of that frontal passage during the middle of the day, no rain at Victoria Regional Airport. Now here's the high pressure settling on in. You can see that front right along the coast. It'll be dropping on down slowly during the overnight and early morning hours. So a beautiful day expected across the area tomorrow. That weak high pressure kind of settling on in, and another weak front. And this is a weak front. You're going to see this move in here and then dissipate without upper level support. And it's only serving to reinforce the high pressure. But we will see an increase in cloud cover from the mid and high levels of the atmosphere on your Friday afternoon as showers begin to spread in from the west across West Texas, not here. Now we're going to see those showers begin to intensify Friday night, some big thunderstorms in the Sierra Madre and in far west Texas, but it'll be Saturday before we see any precipitation working its way in from the Edwards Plateau, and it'll be late in the day on Saturday. So here's that what we're going to be seeing as far as a forecast tonight. Rockport, we're looking at clearing skies and 58 degrees tonight. I might see a little fog down there during the early morning hours as that front struggles to move on through. 78 tomorrow, though, is looking pretty nice. Back in our neck of the woods, mostly clear skies and northerly wind, and 6 to 9 miles an hour. And then tomorrow, beautiful, clear day, 82 degrees, your high. And as we go through the next few days, a little bit of an increase in moisture content, especially late Saturday, and we do see some showers coming in from the Edwards Plateau Saturday night, and sticking around for your Sunday. And the major influx of the instability from that west coast storm I was alluding to, you'll see that Monday and again Tuesday and Tuesday night. Scattered thunderstorms Monday and again Tuesday. And keep in mind, you may see some stronger thunderstorms Tuesday night into early Wednesday. Some of that may involve some heavy rain, especially in East Texas, where the Sabine River may impact I-10 again, that crossing there. We'll be back with more news after the break.
The Guadalupe River has changed over the 70 years John Gibbs has lived and worked on its banks, but a years-long concern for Gibbs, log jams.
I'd like for this land to get back like it used to be when I was a young man.
A log jam is created when water and debris cannot pass freely.
Nobody seems to care, except the people that have to live here and put up with it.
So we boarded a boat to see for ourselves how these log jams impact the river. Mr. Gibbs took us up close to a log jam just south of Bloomington. What we saw, mounds of trees, brush, dirt, and it gets worse.
This is a little one. If you go past that bend right up there, I can show you one that's completely growed over with vegetation. It's been there so long.
Robert Maritek, friend of Gibbs and nearby landowner, is also seeing the impact of log jams on his property.
There's 3 to 4 foot of water on our place where it's falling out of the river and into them flats. It's washing our roads out, it's washing our banks off, and just causing the problem.
They know what needs to be done to fix the problem.
First thing they need is a bigger dam on the river, one that will come up out of the water, let the river flow, and it will wash the river out and keep it clean.
But that takes us to the management of the river basin itself, its maintenance, its upkeep, and that is in the hands of the GBRA, the Guadalupe Blanco River Authority.
It's an ongoing, never-ending thing. The river system is a live, well-growing ecosystem, and log jams are just part of that process.
Diversion dams along the Guadalupe are causing the river to widen and erode. The result, log jams. Bill West, general manager of the GBRA, sees log jams differently.
Log jams certainly contribute to that problem, but it's primarily the slope.
To put that in perspective, the Guadalupe River's elevation slopes downward toward the coast, meaning in the 40 short miles from Victoria to the San Antonio Bay, the water level drops 100 feet.
There's been previous studies to basically channelize the river from Victoria down the coast.
Channelization would mean removing the natural bends and curves in the river to dredge a straight channel. But there are pros and cons. Cons would mean increased erosion, increased river speed, and possibly not having a reliable drinking source, while the pros mean a cleaner river, reduced flood threats, and no log jams. And solving this problem is not just as simple as removing the log jams.
It is a problem. They're losing cattle out there. They're losing land. They're losing vegetation.
Who's ultimately responsible for log jams? The answer is not quite so clear.
There are certain things and certain restrictions that you're not allowed to do without permits, without causing the possibility that you may cause more problems.
Not even one log can be touched without the okay from multiple agencies.
You have entities such as the U.S. Fish and Wildlife that are involved, the Corps of Engineers, and depending on the situation, the General Land Office.
Many of these agencies believe that cleaning up the log jams and correcting the problems would cause even more harm.
It seems like something that can be cleaned out and taken care of if people would just communicate a little better.
The state and the GBRA are making improvements, but
I think the steps are being taken. They're just very baby steps.
The Weather Service reported that winds between 50 and 60 miles an hour occurred during the storm.
That's impressive. I mean, you never know how tough Mother Nature is until you see it.
What's impressive is that there were no injuries out there.
Really? There were.
With effective warnings out there, people know where the danger is and can take appropriate actions, and that's the good news of that.
Absolutely.
Things can be replaced, people not so much.
That's true.
Let's take a look at what's going on outside right now. Beautiful clear skies out there. Mid-60s along the coastline, a little bit warmer in the interior. That's because you've got that southeasterly flow beginning to pick up a little bit, and so you're getting a little sea breeze working there, at least the marine influence holding temperatures down along the immediate coastline. And in the interior, just a tad warmer. Now here's what's going on. The high pressure, having settled off to the east now, is returning that east and southeasterly flow. Now further to the west, it's a southwesterly flow, which is extremely dry off the continent, and you're starting to see those red flag warnings, and those are going to stick around for the weekend, or at least the first half of the weekend, to have some changes coming up that will change that dynamic. But right now you can see that marine influence, middle 60s along the coastline, lower 70s in the interior.